Hey everyone, that's Gold here, and today you're watching my tutorial on how to heal as a druid. Let's get started. Once you're in the dungeon or raid, the first thing you have to remember to do is Mark of the Wild. Mark of the Wild is a massive buff which really does help you out. Saying this, it increases strength, agility, stamina, and intellect by 5%. Magical resistance increased by 97. So now we've got that under control. The tank is your main priority to start off with. For this example, I will be the tank. Now, I am using a heal bot, and it's my opinion that they are great to use, but it really depends on what you like. So on. Let's not get distracted here. So on the tank, you've just got into a battle. You want to apply Life Bloom 3 times. Once it's applied 3 times, it will go down countdown 9 seconds, and you'll see here it applies a big heal, critical heal. Like so. Wasn't too big, but it will benefit you. Alright, so Life Bloom stacked up 3 times. Perfect. Now, Rejuvenation and Regrowth. When one of these are applied, it will reset the countdown. If you can see this right now, if I apply Regrowth, it will reset the countdown back to 9. And there we go. Alright, so once you got your heals over time on the tank is so far pretty good. So, what we can do now is apply Wild Growth. That is an AoE and will heal your group as well. If you're in a dungeon, it will heal most people in that group. Trust me, it is worthwhile. It is something you want to use. Saying this, you also want to use Swift Mend. Now, if you see you try to click Swift Mend, you can't do that yet. This is the point where you'll be like, why not? I want to use it, but it won't let me. To use it, you have to at least use Rejuvenation or Regrowth. And if you notice I apply them both, Swift Mend, it takes away Regrowth. Yeah, at least have to have one of these two on to be able to use Swift Mend. So now we've pretty much got all AoEs on the tank. Like so. You've applied Wild Growth onto the group, followed by Swift Mend. We've gone through a cycle that is being applied to the group, tank, DPS, everyone. You're going good. No one is dying so far. Everything is sweet. Now, you kind of just keep focusing on the tank, and one thing I have to say here is with a DPS, you don't want to use Life Bloom. That's for tank only. You just want to use Rejuvenation and Regrowth. And saying this, the reason why you're only using 2 is because they will also have Wild Growth and Swift Mend. Because you, at this point, would have remembered to constantly just keep using Wild Growth and Swift Mend. So, everything is sweet, and I will go over it one more time, just so we've got it stuck in our heads. Life Bloom 3 times on the tank. Rejuvenation, Regrowth, everything is reset, everything is sweet. Wild Growth to apply heals onto all of the group. Swift Mend to heal the group in this circle. Everyone will be healed only if they're in this circle. So it's something which is really handy. Okay, now Tranquility, Nourish, and Healing Touch. You probably see them and you're like, should I use them or not? Tranquility, you don't want to rely on. 3-minute cooldown, it is very handy. And it's kind of just something, if you're in a lot of trouble, use. If you're in a raid, you kind of will get told to use, and you'll have a natural instinct that you will need to use it right now. Nourish is something which I stay away from. It doesn't heal anyone much. It's kind of just there to look good. Healing Touch, it kind of takes a while to cast. Doesn't get them up too much, but you understand what I mean if you're using this cycle compared to using, if you add Healing Touch. It's just something which you don't want to it doesn't want to be a main priority. So I think we are ready to get into a dungeon now. So we are off. Now, let's do this. So we're in a group. We're not, well, in this example, we're not starting too fresh. Straight to boss fight. Let's get into it. Mark of the Wild is being applied. Now, all we have to do is just wait. And we should be ready to go. Now, with the tank, you can kind of choose to apply life blooms earlier, just so the tank's alright. So he doesn't get hurt too much at the fight. Now, I didn't apply it quick enough, so I had to leave it, let it go down, so that that critical heal was ready to go for life bloom when it was triggered. So I've got all my heals over times. I'll apply wild growth. Now, I'll quickly apply swift mend. And so not only is the DPS keeping up, as you'll see, they don't need to be healed too much. I can just apply all my main focus healing onto the tank. So all my heals over times are up. And you'll see here DPS needs a bit of health. So I'll just use Rejuvenation, Regrowth, apply wild growth, and everything is alright. I can't stress it anymore, guys, that all you need to pretty much do is just keep this cycle re-going. Just rinse and repeat pretty much.
Beware.
And just give the DPS, you can choose. Sometimes I'll just go over tapping regrowth over them. And you kind of develop the skills of like how you like to heal as a druid. But I can't really make you heal the way you want to, you just pick it up. Okay, so we're just getting the heals on the tank constantly. Wild growth is being used as soon as it pops up, so is swift mend. And guys, just remember, swift mend uses your regrowth or rejuvenation. So if you're like, why is it gone? Why has it disappeared? All you need to do is just tap it up again because you've lost it to swift mend. So here we go. And we have done it. We have successfully tanked the boss. All we need to do is move on, and so pretty much it kind of is the same. If you're wondering, is it different for like trash or is it different for boss? It's pretty much just the same, as long as you're really keeping up with the heals and you're not letting anyone die. I guess that's the healer's main objective. So just if you follow this video, guys and girls, you should be sweet. I find it alright. It also depends on like how much mana you've got to do these, because the spells I am using can be pretty expensive in mana. You just got to be able to use them and make sure you're not spamming them like so. But druids are mostly based around heals over times and AoEs, which is something you just kind of got to deal with if you're not used to it. But yeah, so here's trash. Make sure everything's on tank. Keep him alive. Chuck regrowth on, aka chuck all my AoEs on as well, swift mend. And here you can kind of just, I'll get a more clear view on the side. Actually, I'll just keep it there. Sorry about the mucking around. Everyone's alright, everyone's sweet. There's only just here and there one DPS, which you can't blame him. You just gotta chuck some more heals on him. And yeah, you kind of notice no one really goes down, which is good. But guys, just remember, if you want me to like share with you my talents and my glyphs and just add a bit extra detail onto this video and so on, just say it and I'll make another video and all should be good. So here we kind of have like the last boss, and I'll just go into a little more detail to it. But you'll notice just Another thing I'll also remind you guys, Tranquility, if everyone is just getting demolished on, feel free to use it. Just because I said you don't want to use it too often, it's just, that's my opinion. I try to avoid using it because sometimes you just regret it. You're like, oh, I could have used that right now, but it's too late. But yeah, you're grown up, you should know. You'll be able to figure out when to use it or not. So once you kind of got the hang of this rotation, you can kind of just, if it's small trash which isn't too important, you don't have to worry about going over, you don't have to worry about constantly using that same rotation. You can just apply small heals and not so much to reduce mana cost, etc. So pretty much just see me, as soon as I get in, chuck all AoEs on tank, make sure he's alive, as well as heals over time. And DPS just stays, they don't go down. Everything's alright. So you pretty much not counting on, but you mostly are doing all your work with your AoEs to the DPS in the group, which is something which you really do want to keep up because it saves a lot of hassle in the future. So I'm going to cut it short here, and I would like to say thank you for watching my video. I hope you learned something. Feel free to request more about tutorials and stuff, and I'll get around to doing it. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.